Hi. Hi, Jay. Welcome on in. Can you just let me know you can hear me okay? I'll wait. I'm gonna assume that I'm live and go. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate it. You're the only one here, so you're the only one I'm gonna talk to right now. Oh, wait, there's Tammy. Hi, Tammy, and hi, Teresa. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. So, oh, Tammy, be safe driving. Hi, Christy. Are you having fun? I hope so. Meet up with Walter. How was the graduation? Hi, Donna. Welcome in. Um, so I'm Melissa. If you don't know me from making cards with friends, also good friends with Delise, and so I'm really excited to help her with the BBCA this weekend. Although this is my only scheduled slot. If we have any more emergencies like we did earlier today, then I will definitely be jumping on. Um, let's see. Hi, Sarah. Sarah, I hope that's right. Sweet Bee, that's Sarah, I think. Hi, Anne Marie. And tell me, is that correct? The correct pronunciation? It's Marie, right? Not Merit, as it's spelled. But anyway, welcome on in. I am going to be making a Memorydex. If you've been watching me on Making Cards with Friends for the last few months, actually, I have jumped onto um, this Memorydex trend and I haven't stopped. I love it. And what I'm going to show you today is how to make a Memorydex without having a Memorydex die. You don't have to have one. These are little pieces of art that you can customize. If you want them to go into a Memorydex box or book, then I'm going to show you how to do those holes to do that. Um, I am going to be featuring Emily Moore Designs. I'm using these moths. This is Stevie and this is Lorelei. And I'm actually an ambassador for Emily Moore Designs, and I've been a really bad ambassador because I haven't really kicked this off and made this part of my like if I did with a design team, then I would have a weekly or bi-monthly or whatever kind of assignment. I haven't put that into my schedule yet. Um, I will do that, but I think it's Anne Marie, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to Google that later. Anyway, so I'm a bad ambassador, but when I post this, I'm going to put my ambassador link. If it's an affiliate link. If you want to buy through that, great. If not, that's okay too. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Judy. Judy Acevedo. Aren't you Delisa's sister? Is that right? Am I thinking correctly? Anyway, so I'm gonna just go ahead and get started. Please holler at me. I will look at the comments. Holler at me if I get really quiet, because I tend to do that when I craft. That's why I do making cards with friends, because there's 3 other friends that will help keep the conversation going, because I'm not that one. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am using this frame die. Actually, I got it off Amazon. It's one of those cheapo frames, and I really like it. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, holler at me. I will look up at comments every now and then. I thought so, Judy. Thank you. Um, Delise is supposed to be here, but she said that she needed to go get something to eat before her show later on, which is going to be mixed media, which, that's always fun. So anyway, Memorydex got started. The history that I found on it was back in like 2009, I believe it was, is Heidi Swap started this. And she had a really cool like handheld punch that put in the holes for you. And she also had yeah, so the old Rolodex, which my mom still has one and uses. It basically is taking that old idea of storing addresses, and it's got to go this way. Addresses, and I remember, my mom, when I was a kid, well, from the time that I was 8 years old till I was 16, my mom had a flower shop, and she did flowers, cake, and catering for weddings. For first it started out with flowers for weddings, and then that grew to be wedding cakes, and that grew to be catering as well. And so she would, as she's growing, of course, she's networking and meeting other businesses. Like, I remember there was this one place that would rent out like tables and chairs and tents and things for receptions, and it was called Robin Rental. And I kid you not, the guy that ran the store, his name was Christopher Robin. A really nice guy. Anyway, and so as she would network, of course, she's getting business cards and things like that and they would always get stapled into this Rolodex. So that's how I'm familiar with them. And then so Heidi Swap, being the amazing artist that she is, I guess I don't have any little vellum, took this, and I'm guessing, and of course this is just my interjection or my way of let me just fill in the blanks, I guess, kind of thing, with what she was doing is taking the ATCs, so the artist trading cards, and putting them into this Rolodex. Now, I don't know if I'm right or not, but that's what I'm guessing. And but that's basically what they are. If you think about like artist trading cards, those have been around for a really long time, and they too are just beautiful, and they are this don't watch what I'm doing. They are these little beautiful pieces of art, and that's what I like about this Memorydex. Is because it's this little beautiful piece of art, and I have mine. I made a box and they're in my box. And actually, my friend Mary Alice suggested that I do a walkthrough of my little box, and post it to my YouTube channel. And so I will do that. I think that sounds like fun if y'all like to see that. But I have just absolutely fallen in love with this art form and have run away with it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be building a Memorydex. Again, no specialty die for the Memorydex base because you don't really have to have one. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some fantastic ones available. Like, let's see. There's this basic one from one of my favorite stores called Jaded Blossom. And they have this square one, this rounded one, and then they have one that just puts in those notches for you. And I like that. So you can do something as basic, or you can get super, super creative with the Memorydex dies that are available from All in Create. And if you are familiar with All in Create, you know how over the top, artsy, fun, whimsy, I mean, just absolutely amazing dies that you can get in all kinds of shapes for Memorydex. But you don't have to have that. And I was actually inspired to show you this by my friend Walter, who we laugh at Walter because he says, "Oh, Memorydex, I'm not going to do that. I'm not interested." And then he did one, and he is now hooked. So, and I mean, you might get hooked too. And they're so fun to do. Well, anyway, Walter's first Memorydex was he did it without any specialty dies. So he actually, I'm going to say that he inspired this, but truth be told, I'm stealing it from him. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I want to show you how to make a Memorydex without having those specialty dies. And so I'm putting some vellum in the middle here, and actually I need to cut another piece because I have an idea of how I want this to look, and hopefully it's going to work. And I'm sorry if I'm telling you right now, I really miss having Christy and Walter here with me because they help keep up the conversation while I get up and walk away to look for stuff, or just they help me with this conversation. And this is why I was really afraid to go live, is because this is just me. And okay, so I'm rambling and I'm sorry. And I'm just going to start crafting and show you what my idea is. And let me look at the comments. Thank you, Reagan. I appreciate that. What's creepy? What did I miss, Jay? With their, the All in Create. They're not, my mom says they're creepy too. She don't like them. She says, "Ooh, those big eyes, they're spooky." That's what my mom says. Who's the queen? Oh, Delise. Yes, Delise is here. And okay, I think if I've missed you, say something. I'm bummed. I have to read my Cricut manual since. Oh no. Oh no. Well, hopefully. Well, we of course hope that Chris and his emergency turned out to be okay and everyone is fine. But hopefully, Chris will maybe make a video to show us later um, his idea on making stickers. Bear with me. I'm gonna look for some die cuts. Hopefully I don't have to cut them out. Yeah, we'll see what's in here. Actually, this could be really cool too. Let me just see something here. Oh, that looks neat. All right. Let's try this. This is just a die cut that I had sitting over on my other table doing nothing. And how much of this am I going to need? All right. Let's get some. Whew. It is getting hot in my room. Holy crap. Whew. I'm so excited. My new glass board arrived today. I have not been able to put it out yet. But when you see me Sunday, you will see it live and in person. Just not today. I was really hoping my Echo Park order would arrive today too, so I can work on a baby book that I have been working on. And yes, now I'm starting to really ramble. Bear with me. I feel like I need to keep this conversation going, but I don't really know what to say. Is that bad? What does this look like? No, that's not what I wanted. This one. I did get the magnetic glass board. I'm so super excited. Well, it kind of looks the same. It's this one. There we go. I'm very, very excited to set up my magnetic glass board. I have been coveting one for quite a while now. And I sold a couple of my memory books, and what I got paid for them allowed me to purchase um the glass studio board. um so yeah, that was exciting, and it just arrived today. I also feel like I need to get something lighter, to a lighter surface to work on, because the older I get, the blinder I'm getting. And um, it's very hard for me to work with darker colors on top of my Tim Holtz glass mat, which I've loved this mat for a long time, and it's been great. But I need something that's gonna give me a lighter thing, because I notice I tend to start giving myself this little bit of space to work on when I'm working with something darker. Um, so yeah, pretty excited to open up that box, but it came at the wrong time today, so I didn't get to set it up beforehand. Okay. Then the other thing I want to do is I am not necessarily trying to make this a shaker, but it kind of is, I guess. Just remember, it is scratch resistant, not scratch proof. Okay. Thank you. I'm super excited to pull it out later and play, and I'll probably be as ginger with it as I tease Walter about how ginger he treats his. You see him, lovingly clean it, and he doesn't ink on it. And I tease him about that, and I'll probably end up doing the same thing and treat it with kid gloves. And that's okay, right? It might be a little silly, but that's okay. All right. So what I don't want to do is, because this is vellum, and if I glue this somewhere, then you're going to see the vellum. That's why I'm saying I'm not really trying to make this a shaker, but I do want these leaf elements in here. Just kind of bring in my little forest. And then I'm going to glue this right along that edge, so that my elements that I did put on here don't fall down. At least that's the idea. And we're going to smush this in here. There we go. So we've got some mushrooms and some leaves in there. That looks kind of neat, huh? Okay. Then, before I go any further and I add any more to this, I want to show you how to turn this into a Memorydex without having specialty dies. Everybody has a hole punch or a circle punch, little circle punch. What you want to do is find your ruler and you're going to, at least this is how I'm going to do this, is, okay, so this measures, come on, Melissa, this measures about 4 3/8. So that's going to put my center, I'm just going to eyeball this, and I probably should work on the back side. Okay, so my pencil here. Okay, so I'm going to eyeball this 4 not quite 3/8, but so half of 4 is 2. I don't know what half of 3/8 is going to be, but we're going to say it's about 2 1/4. Looks good to me. That's about half of this. So you want to mark that, and then you want to go mark out a 1/2 inch from there and a 1/2 inch out here. So you've got a 1 inch space. And you're going to center that dot. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And punch. And hopefully that's gonna, there we go. Keep punching. And you know, this one that I picked might be a little too big. Maybe the 1/4 inch circle punch, which is what, a normal hole punch size, would be a little more correct. And then take your scissors, and there's your 1/2 point. You want to go just slightly to the right and slightly to the left of that halfway point and snip. So there's your halfway point, slightly to the right, slightly to the left, and there you go. That will give you your notches to create your Memorydex holes. The Memorydex one, oh, Susan says 3/16. Oh, no, I'm not doing that for halfway points. Eighths are my limit. But Jay says he thinks that you can get a Memorydex punch. Heidi Swap used to have one. You can't find them anymore. Or at least I couldn't. I have seen them on Etsy. So they are there. All in Create, I don't have the die set out, but All in Create does have a die set called Tear It Up, Tear Edges, Tear something. I'll look at it. It actually has a die where you can line this up and make these holes. And as I I showed you, Jaded Blossom also has a die that you can line up and also create these holes. But my lesson here is you don't have to spend that extra money to make a Memorydex if you're just wanting to try this out. Most people have this hole punch, have a crocodile, have even just, a regular handheld 1/4 inch hole punch from an office supply store. So anyway, but that's how you make it. And now I am going to just continue to die cut and finish my Memorydex. Again, holler at me. Stamps of Life does have Memorydex dies. I've not seen theirs, but they're popping up again. I think they're gaining their popularity again, because I'm seeing them on. Oh, I can't remember who it was that Walter sent me a link to. And it's very cool. Maybe it was Scrap Diva. I honestly don't remember, but they're around. They are around and they're fun. And like I said, I love this little piece of art. I don't honestly think that there's a day that goes by that my mom or I don't just kind of stop at my where I have my Memorydex box at on one of my shelves here in my craft room, that we don't just stop and thumb through it and just look. And it's so fun. If you really honestly just needed a purpose for your Memorydexes, why not create and use it as maybe like a birthday calendar, and put an address on it and a birth date for your family members and your friends that you want to send birthday cards to. That would be cute. Or use it like it was really, intended. Put addresses on it. I know we all have our phones, and that's where we store that stuff. But why not? What other ideas could you use? Make it a little mini scrapbook. Say you go on, I don't know, a little trip, and those little photo printer things, you could, have it journal something. Wouldn't it be kind of cute to have, why not have that be in a little book, a little 12-month 12-month book for baby's first year, and just putting a little picture in there and jotting down something memorable about that month, and giving that to grandma or your favorite aunt Elaine. It just, the possibilities I think are endless with a Memorydex. But I honestly, I just like it. I just like thumbing through it. Um, cause it's pretty. You can add your cats. Absolutely. Well, wouldn't that be cute as like a little calendar with different kitties? I personally, I want to. I've lost my scissors. Do y'all see my scissors? Ha! Where'd they go? I just had them. See, I can lose a pair of scissors while holding them. Oh, here they are. That would be really cute to have like a little calendar with cats on it, a collage of cats. That would be adorable. Yeah, I just think that there are so many things that you can do with it that would make this Memorydex. I don't know. Yeah, I think you can just have a lot of fun with it. And where I started to go with what I was going to say is, I had my dad. He was Depression era father, and of course, everything to him had to have a purpose in life. And so I have a hard time breaking that idea is okay, well, what's this for? Well, and I've come to the decision. I've made this decision, and that what's it for was to bring me joy in making whatever I wanted to make. And I enjoyed that. And I enjoyed that process. And I know Christy and I have had this conversation several times, that no matter what happens to the card after you've made it, like you send it on to a friend, and even if that friend just looked at it, enjoyed it for a week, and then put it in the trash, you don't know that. You're not gonna know that. The joy came from creating it, right? And that's where your joy comes from. And that's how I look at Memorydex. Is I don't have to have a purpose. I like it just the way that it is, and I enjoy just looking at it. So I don't know if you're like me, where you're going to sit down, you have to have a reason why you're going to sit down and start crafting. I am breaking myself of that habit. I don't have to have a reason. My reason is because I want to. Okay, so put Stevie together. The reason I bought it, although I haven't used it yet, was a way to recreate my cards because I sell them. I wanted a way to remember my favorites. Exactly, Reagan. Absolutely. That's it. I haven't made this book yet, but I subscribed to um you get letters twice a month, and it oh, hi Mary. I'm sorry that I missed you coming in. Um I subscribe to this letter, and you get 2 letters a month, and it tells you a story, and it's for a whole year. And I want to do a junk journal type um book to put these letters in. Um you know, I can I can literally hear my dad going, "Well, that's the most expensive book you ever bought." And it is, because it was, I don't know, $12 a month or something like that. So, yeah, I suppose that is a pretty expensive book. But there is too much garbage that goes on in this world. I choose to see joy. That's what I want in my life. And I do have my mom living with me, and there are days where she stresses me out, and then there are days where we have a lot of fun. I think that's going to be just normal life. Um, she's not young anymore, and it's kind of hard for me to see my mom the way that she's aging, and this is not my mom. My mom doesn't get old, but she does, and it's weird. So that's causes me stress. But I come in here and I have fun. And this is my see if that's going to work. This is my joy when and I think that we all see crafting in those different kinds of lights. It has brought us different meaning. It brought me through a pretty scary time when my husband left, and I've got 3 little kids to raise, and it was brought me through some very sad times, and it brings me joy, makes me happy. Why do you craft? Um, what, making Memorydex bases? Why not make them on your Cricut? If that's I I I I I like having dies. I really do. I have a silhouette, but I prefer those dies because they're just easier than pulling out the machine. But tell me, why do you craft? What is your main motivation? Okay, there's Stevie. Put him away before I lose his little pieces. Where's his? Paintings are harder to mail. Yeah, that's true. Wendy, she crafts cards to bring smiles, which I also run a group in Australia to help others do the same. That's wonderful. Nikki, it's her piece and shows that she can make pretty things. Mary, crafting is her happy place. Gaz, hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here. I didn't see you slip in, so I'm sorry that I missed you. But Gaz says it's where you find your memory, or make memories. Yeah, absolutely. Reagan, she spends all day with numbers at work, so it's a way to get away from that, get creative. You are a sneaky sneak, Gaz. Delise likes stitching on dies. I don't have that patience. I have some spellbinders dies that are made for that stitching, and yeah, I'm over it. I don't like them. Crafting stops me from going totally insane. Right there with you, babe. I'm like that too. I need that, especially, and I don't want to paint the wrong picture. My mom is a lovely person, but it's, living with your mom again. It's annoying. But she's fun. And she's really hilarious to sit and watch TV with. Of course, she's got to have on closed captions, and she has to read the captions, and you have to tell her, Mom, let them do the talking. But she's fun. Okay, let's pull out Lorelei. This is Lorelei. And every time I hear that name, I think of that song from Styx. Love that song. Ooh. She's fancy. Oh, Gaz, that's funny. How's Erin doing, by the way? Gosh, I haven't talked to you in ages, Gaz. We must catch up. What you been doing? Okay, I think I'm gonna. Oops. Delise, how am I doing on time? Should I be done? I'm almost to an hour. Okay, I'm almost done. I don't even know how much time I got. He's all right. You haven't killed him yet. Well, that's good. Okay. I guess that is a good thing that you haven't killed him yet. No, I think I did that. No, we'll go with it. we'll go with that. And I'm going to try to keep this fairly simple. Y'all are probably getting really bored watching me do this. Can be about as exciting as watching paint dry. No, I do need that to be a different color. Okay. Oh, goodness. I will get it together, I promise. Oh, I'm not gonna go another 40 minutes. I'm gonna try to be done in like the next 10 to 15 minutes. Because, it's I'm Eastern time, so it's almost 6:30. It's past dinner. So I don't know where everybody else, like Reagan, I know you're in Colorado, so it's still kind of early. But yeah, I want to be respectful of your time and getting dinner and getting to craft roulette. And I don't know if anybody is on right after me, but I know Delise will be coming soon with mixed media. So of course I want to let y'all get a bite to eat, and so that you can get ready to get messy with Delise and do some mixed media. I tried to memorize the schedule, but I didn't do so good with it. Not a very good admin, am I? Okay. Not gonna fit. These dies, I don't know if you've purchased from Emily Moore yet. They're so nice because if you've been hanging out at making cards with friends at all the past few months, you'll notice that I'm now wearing new accessories. They're either Band-Aids or gloves, because my hands have been drying out so bad. Like, you see my thumb, how it's all dried like that and cracked? Isn't that pretty? They've been doing that lately. And what was my point to this? I forgot what my point was. But I do have to like take it easy and take a break, go wash my hands, get them lotioned up again, and then try to craft a little bit more. And it's not been easy. So and right now they're starting to get really itchy. But so I want to, take a break myself so that I can get messy with Delise too and do some mixed media. My Echo Park order didn't come today, so I can't exactly work on the book that I wanted to. I'm actually going to go with a darker gray. Yeah, it just It hurts. Oh, that was my point. So the Emily Moore, there's Lorelei, which is the moth I'm working on right now, and that there's a couple of others, but I don't have them. And now I remember what my point was. And then there's Stevie. And what I'm really loving about these dies from Emily Moore is that you don't have to cut them apart. So they're smooth and I can use them comfortably without catching. Like even there, my fingertips are so, I guess tender is going to be about the best word to use, that I poke myself and we're talking way worse than any kind of paper cut, and they're not fun. Um, so that's what I really. Not only are they just beautiful dies to work with, I love her big sentiments dies, but you don't have to cut them apart, and so there's no little sharp nubby things to cut your fingers with. And believe me, I've done it. Okay, let's see. I think I can put this away now. And and you can adhere these with dimensionals if you want to really make these moths look like they're flying off your page. I did that with Stevie, but I'm gonna keep Lorelei a little more 2D. I do have. If you want to shop at Emily Moore Designs, wait until I post this Memorydex, because I will include my affiliate link, and I have a 10% off discount code too. It's not 40%. 40% would be awesome, but 10% helps too. Actually, I think I will pop these up. And where's your body? So tell me, are you enjoying BBCA so far? I know it just kicked off this morning, and There's been some pivots and duck and weave kind of things going on, but it's been fun. And, more to come, which is always fun. I know I mentioned Delisa's mixed media, but let me just throw in this word. It's snarky mixed media, which I think is gonna be so much fun. Because, sarcasm is, my second language. In the last live that Delise and I did, we did easy fun folds. Oh, I want to keep that there. And so she was reading off some of the sentiments that is in the stamp set she got today. So cute. Okay, and I'm gonna leave Lorelei just like that, not add these other pieces. All right, so then we're gonna come in here. I think I'm gonna add maybe something like that. But where did run if you want to? And this is something I should have thought about. Before I stuck anything down, but that's me. Quick to glue. But we want to be able for things to stand out a little bit. And so we're going to just kind of ink this up a little bit. And I promise here I will be quick. Oh, heck with it. Put that in there too. Cover up my mushrooms. And Stevie, he's gonna be towards the bottom here. I'm gonna double up the foam tape so that he sits just a tiny bit higher than Lorelei. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is is add a little sentiment from these small talk from by Tim Holtz. And I'm going to split it because it's going to go on. Oh, actually, let's do it this way. Life was meant for a great adventure. You could add more to this, like some other things for texture, but I'm going to call this done. You show off, Reagan. That sounds awesome. That's awesome. She's made 3 mini spiral notepads. That's awesome. Anyway, so here is my Memorydex. Super simple. I used frame dies that I kind of made it a shaker, although those pieces back there aren't going to shake anywhere. But they're also stuck in there without glue, so you don't see that icky glue. Tracks, I guess, is a good word. So with vellum, and then Lorelei and Stevie from Emily Moore Designs, and finished it off with a little sentiment that says life was meant for a great adventure. So there we go. This is what I have to share with you today. I really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you all so much for the love. I appreciate it. Thanks for joining me and not leaving me in here to talk to just myself. I do appreciate that as well. And next up, I think is you, Delise. I'm not really sure if somebody else is after me. Right after me, but I know that Delise is coming up with Snarky Mixed Media. So again, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend with BBCA. There's so much goodness coming up. I know Reagan's got two coming up, and like I said, I'm sorry, I'm a bad admin. I did not memorize the schedule, but there are some really cool classes coming, and so have fun. Thank you.